Hey guys, welcome to another video. Sorry if the wind's getting you a little bit. We'll pray to the gods that it calms down a little. So, long time no see, I am back. So, extraterrestrial civilizations. Who are they? And which ones are visiting Earth? So, I will share my perspective to the best of my ability. So, we need to clear up or shine some light on a few things before we go into this. So, when I say extraterrestrials visiting Earth, technically there is no Earth. There is only your version of Earth. See, everything exists within your consciousness as a projection of your own inner vibratory state. And there are infinite versions of Earth. And what version of Earth you reside upon in your conscious reality depends upon your vibratory state. What version of Earth you create for yourself. So there are infinite Earths. And we're, in a way, the only time we are ever residing on the same Earth, as I understand it, is when we're actually like communicating to each other directly. Like if you're watching my video, I guess you could say you're on my Earth and I'm on your. We're sharing the same Earth at the minute because we're both on the same vibrational frequency, and we've co-created a version of Earth together. So I talk a lot about this in other videos, and so I'm sure you've heard me talk about this before. So I won't go too deeply into this now. But so everything is a creation of our consciousness. Everything exists within us. We are that which is beyond and within all things, and everything exists within us. So this Earth is just a reflection of us. There is no Earth. There is no one story about which extraterrestrial civilizations are visiting our Earth. It is really a mixture of what we choose to create for ourselves and I guess the vibrational inertia of past realities, sort of like what's happened in the past, like how people have manifested extraterrestrial contact in this reality, and then that's become a part of the story of this reality, and the more people that focus upon that, the more that generates a version of Earth where extraterrestrial contact exists. So it's a very hard subject to cover because no one knows exactly which extraterrestrial civilizations are visiting Earth, because it's very multidimensional, it's very non-linear, it's very non-fixed. But I guess the main ones that are part of my reality, and thus part of your reality in this moment at least, because we're resonating together, are of course the Yahyel, which if you're new to my videos, check out my videos from around the September time. And also check out my Facebook page, Xenoplex Ray, because I did a lot of video uploads after my contact experience with the Yahyel last September, where I went aboard a craft and had multiple sightings. And just recently, they came when I moved back out here. You may recognise this from this location from my extraterrestrial contact course. I think I did the CE5 video just up there somewhere last time I was living in this area. I'm back, and so I had some amazing sightings just over there, just over the river, probably only a mile or so away from here. Two massive great orange lights just going woo 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 woo. Two of them, one disappeared and came here. I've done other videos on that, so I won't go into that. So the Yahyel, of course, the Yahyel. Who are the Yahyel? They are a hybrid species of the humans and the Zeta greys, the product of the hybridization programs. So there's a new documentary coming out. I think it's called Extraordinary, the Seeding, and I think Richard Dolan had a lot to do with this. And so he's a well-known UFO historian, and he doesn't really go down the contact, consciousness, self-realization, metaphysical aspect of reality. I think he's a little skeptical of a lot of that stuff, understandably, because I'm sure he's seen a lot of kooks in his time. But this video, this documentary he's made, Extraordinary, the Seeding, it covers the abduction phenomenon and the fact that the abduction researchers, even from the scientific evidence, they seem to have come to the conclusion that there is a hybridization program where these Zeta Greys, the classic UFO ETs with the big black eyes and the almond-shaped eyes and the large heads, are abducting humans by the millions. And there are many documented cases. Whitley Strieber, off the top of my head, I can only think of one out of a million. But there are many. Of course, most people haven't come forwards. But so, yeah, the Yahyel are a product of the hybridization of the humans and the Zeta Greys and lots of genetic manipulation from the hybridization program from the abduction phenomenon. Another species that is a produce of the hybridization program is Bashar's civilization, the Ssassani. They are a different civilization, and both the Ssassani and the Yahyel are from the future, and they've come back to visit us in this now to assist us in a new now, because there is no future, there is no past, there is only infinite consciousness existing here and now as us. Therefore we can pop in and out of dimensions, realities, times, existences, etc. So that's how they can come back. So we got the Yahyel, the Ssassani, and of course we've got the Greys. And the Zeta Greys, the ones doing the hybridization program, doing the abducting, they aren't actually extraterrestrial in my understanding. They are humans from a parallel reality Earth that sort of became very technologically evolved, very telepathic, but perhaps very left-brained, very masculine energy, and they bred out all their emotion, and due to this, as I understand it, they lost the ability to reproduce, and so they got desperate, but due to their technological advancement they were able to tunnel through to our parallel reality and start abducting us, which was co-agreed upon before this incarnation from a spirit's higher self, soul perspective. So we're not really victims if we're being abducted, because we did choose this. And so, yeah, and they are the Zeta Greys. So we've got the Yahyel, the Ssassani, the Zeta Greys. There is another hybrid species. There are 5 hybrid species that Bashar speaks of. Another one that I have connected with is one that I called the Pleiades. And I think Bashar called it something similar. There's very little information out there on it. I'm sure I originally got the name Pleiades from Bashar. And this civilization, when I connected to them telepathically, they were like gangsters. I called them the gangsters, of course, nice gangsters, but they were very like a pack, very stuck together. They were somewhat, what I understood, like a bit of a breakaway civilization. They weren't working together so much with the other extraterrestrial civilizations or even the other hybrid species. They were more like a rogue pack who were very close in themselves, but sort of like a tribe. They looked after each other, but were a bit sort of distant from the greater extraterrestrial movement visiting Earth. So they were kind of like gangsters and tribal like this, and they were very healthy, very fit, very strong. Perhaps one of the traits of their civilization, I'm assuming the hybridization programs that produced the Yahyel, Ssassani and the Pleiades all had different objectives. Like perhaps the Ssassani was supposed to be the most wisdom-based sort of teaching like Bashar. The Yahyel were here more closely aligned to humans so they could be the first to make contact. And the Pleiades were designed to be a very physically strong, energized and vibrant species that I'm sure will be able to bring a lot to humanity in the future. So we've got the Pleiades, the Yahyel, the Ssassani, the Zeta Greys and the Pleiadians. Of course, the Pleiadians, quite a well-known extraterrestrial civilization. I'm not sure where they first came from. There's a great book called Bringers of the Dawn by Barbara Marciniak. It's a great read, channeled by the Pleiadians, some fantastic information in there. Because of course there's the Billy Meyer story, and Billy Meyer is a fascinating case, guaranteed to cause some debates in UFO circles. But I believe that Billy Meyer wasn't talking about the Pleiadians. I think he was talking about a civilization called the Pleiadians, which are actually located in the same direction as the Pleiadians as we look from here, but there is a star system behind the Pleiadian star system, I think. So I don't really know where the Pleiadians came from, how they first entered our human reality. Who was the first person to speak about Pleiadian extraterrestrials? I don't know. Certainly Barbara Marciniak is perhaps one of the most famous. I might look into that further. Let me know in the comments below if you know where any of these extraterrestrial civilizations sort of first entered humanity folklore or whatever. So Pleiadians are very loving, very compassionate, very beautiful, quite human looking. So it is my fairly firm conviction that the Pleiadians will likely be the first civilization to make extraterrestrial contact with humanity, because they are more similar looking to us, not as scary looking as like the Greys, which would freak people out. Very loving, very compassionate, so perhaps might be a bit easier for us to deal with than like some super high intelligent wisdom. So that's the Pleiadians. Speaking of super high intelligent wisdom, up comes the Arcturans. And sometimes the Arcturans can be described as a kind of mothering consciousness, a female nurturing sort of compassionate consciousness. But personally, when I've collected with the Arcturans, they seem very extremely wise, very aligned to their higher self, to their higher calling, very calculating, very intelligent, almost like supercomputers. That's what I connect. They're like, their conscious mind is like a supercomputer, like constantly analysing all potential outcomes of their interactions with humanity or whatever they're doing, and coming to the best conclusion of ways to move forward based on all the data they have. So it's kind of like they're sort of overseeing Earth, analysing all the data, analysing all the possibilities, and trying to sort of oversee, as I understand it, the evolution of humanity and first contact. So then we've got the Sirians. I think it's fairly safe to say that the Sirians will definitely be manifesting in this reality. A lot of people connect with the Sirians. The Sirians, I don't know why I'm saying it in this voice, but perhaps they speak a little like this in Sirians. And of course, you maybe heard of Adronis, Brad Johnson, channel's Adronis, quite a well-known extraterrestrial, perhaps one of the most well-known extraterrestrial channels, Brad Johnson, after Dawalanka, maybe. And so that's the Sirians, Adronis, very sort of, again, wise, computer, technology oriented. This is what I sense on the extraterrestrials, coming from a more wisdom side, masculine oriented consciousness, as opposed to the Pleiadians, which are perhaps more feminine oriented consciousness, more love and compassion. And so, yes, and often if you resonate with dolphins and water, Bashar would always say that if you resonate with dolphins and water, it's likely you have connections to Sirius. So maybe we all have connections with Sirius, because we are at the water now, and you are resonating with this. And I've always felt connections to Sirius, but I've also felt connections to Pleiadians and the Ssassani and the Yahyel, of course. So when people say, where are you from? You often hear, like in New Age circles or spiritual circles or ET metaphysical circles, like, where are you from? I'm from Arcturus. Where are you from? I'm from the Pleiades. Where are you from? Oh, I'm from Sirius. And so what are people meaning when they say that they're just making this up? Is there some reality to it? And yeah, there's definitely reality to it, but it's a little different to how I understand it to work. It's like, from my perspective, and this is what I initially learnt from Bashar, but I've gone in a way deeper into this because I've experienced it directly myself. I've experienced my multidimensional nature. So this is based on like intuitive resonance with certain teachings and direct experience myself. So how I experience it is that we have a soul, and our soul is not like some wise version of us that sat up there on a cloud and going, oh, I'm Jonathan's soul. Our soul is like a multi-dimensional version of ourselves. It's like, it's an expression of consciousness, so an expression of ourself as the one consciousness, experiencing multiple realities at a time, because the more we accelerate in consciousness, the more self-realized we become, the more connected to oneness become, the more, as I understand it, certainly in my own experience, the more multidimensionally connected we become connected to other dimensions of reality. So as souls evolve in consciousness, they encompass perhaps the sun. As it evolved to the level of the sun's consciousness, the sun actually knows itself to be like the Earth or the planets in our solar system, the solar system, soul. I won't go into that soul connection because soul is the sun right now, because that could be deep. But so the sun, as a multidimensional, highly evolved conscious being, encompasses not only itself but also me, because I'm on Earth, and the Earth and Gaia and all humans and all entities within its solar system as one consciousness, multidimensionally. And so this is kind of what a soul is. A soul experiences multiple incarnations simultaneously, multidimensionally. Like, it experiences like perhaps millions of versions of me in parallel realities, other dimensions, like versions of me but on other Earths. It encompasses, it is made up of my past lives, my future lives, my lives in other dimensions, my lives in other realities, my lives in non-physical realities, my lives as Yahyel, Ssassani, Pleiadian, Zeta, Sirius. It encompasses all those aspects of myself, but consciously, here and now, in this present moment, multidimensionally. This is because there is no past, there is no future, there is only the present moment, there is only infinite consciousness existing here and now as us. And our soul is kind of a microcosm of the general macrocosm of the multidimensional nature of reality. And it encompasses many aspects of ourselves: past lives, future lives, interdimensional lives, multidimensional lives, other dimensional lives, extraterrestrial lives, all coexisting here and now as us, because there is no time, there is only vibrational frequency. And what we call the future and past are just experiences of the now on a different vibrational frequency. And that's how we experience the future, because we know the future and past don't exist. There is only the present moment, and when the future comes, it comes in the now. So what we're actually doing is shifting our vibrational frequency to a different frequency, experiencing a different reality. So our soul exists here and now as a multidimensional version of ourselves, encompassing all aspects of ourselves here and now. And I feel like you often hear the term old soul or young soul. And I guess this is a hard thing to go into, being as the soul is timeless. But basically, as I understand it, as I've seen it, is that some souls have more aspects just focused in like third density or third, fourth dimensional realities, like Earth, as we've known it for thousands of years. Perhaps some souls may have like many past lives, gone through thousands of past lives as warriors and blah blah blah, priestesses and all on Earth, and perhaps even aspects in lower dimensional realities, and like animal kingdoms or even plant kingdoms, who knows. But some souls seem to be more focused in the evolution of their soul consciousness in like higher dimensional realities. Like what you might call a starseed or a wanderer is a person, as I understand it, who has a soul matrix because it's multidimensional in nature. The soul is made up of many realities. And I would say that what we call a starseed, if you resonate with the term starseed or wanderer and you feel sort of more disconnected from the physical reality and more like me, you just focus on stuff that people don't normally focus upon, it's likely you're a starseed or a wanderer, and it's likely your soul has incarnations in the main focus of your soul's incarnations will be in higher dimensions, like say 75% of your soul's millions of incarnations will be in like the Pleiades, Sirius, Arcturus, non-physical incarnations in higher dimensions, like angels, even higher dimensional realities like that, spirit consciousnesses, and perhaps less aspects of itself in physical reality and lower dimensional realities like Earth. And this is why a lot of us feel somewhat lost and disoriented and disillusioned with this reality, and what on earth are those humans doing? Are they just going to carry on like they're doing this forever and we get frustrated? So if you're one of these people that gets frustrated with humans because they seem to care about nothing outside of what the TV tells them to care about, then you're probably a high soul. You've got many soul incarnations in higher dimensional realities, so you're used to exploring ideas of multidimensionality, of self-realization, of service to others, of who knows, ETs, teleportation, magic, kung fu, Kundalini awakening, Reiki healing, angel magic, runes, tarot, crystals. You get the idea. If you're one of these people that seems very drawn to the idea of exploring reality that a lot of people don't fit into, it's likely that your soul is multidimensional and it has many incarnations in other dimensions. So, I think we perhaps... Do I carry on? So, I guess that's a good place to finish. I seem to have like wiped myself out. I don't know what more to say. So I am back. I just really made this video because I've had a break for a while and I'm just wanting to get the momentum back. I've been getting a bit frustrated lately with myself, I guess, because I've had some time out and now I'm like, I haven't done anything. I haven't done anything for like months to further the extraterrestrial contact. And I'm like saying to myself, it's okay, you're following excitement. If your excitement is to stay and meditate, that's good. It's, as Bashar teaches, when we're following excitement, we're always doing the most we can for the furtherance of this civilization. But my mind's like, no, you've got to put YouTube videos out there. You've got to go and tell the government that they're shite. And so I'm glad to be back. And I'll see you in another video soon. Expect more where this come from. And it'll probably be more cohesive, more focused, and less random gibberish like I've been speaking today. Have a wonderful day, guys. Shivai. Bye.